So Dean, welcome.
Yes, thank you. We're here to show you the new Plug and Power Reloaded. As you know, we've had the existing Plug and Power for many years. Now we've got the reloaded version. So we would just like to run through the technical aspects of that, the operation procedures, and just to give you a good feel of it.
Excellent. So before we go on the panels and see live the functions and some features, could you tell us what is the new in the Plug and Power?
Yeah, basically what we've done is we've redesigned the Plug and Power so the operation is a lot easier. We've increased the specification. We've also took some cost out of it, so it's a lot more cost effective than the previous version also.
Excellent. So regarding technical specifications, what is the thing that has been upgraded? For example, the rating?
Yeah, so what we've done is the buzz bar rating, so your dropper buzz bar on the rear of the motherboard, that is now rated up to 2,750 amps with a short circuit rating of 70 kA for 1 second. We've also changed the size of the units. So before, where we had a smaller unit being 400 wide by 100 millimeters high, we've actually reduced and compacted the size of the units. So the smallest unit you can have now is 100 millimeters wide by 150 millimeter high. So it's very, very compact, and your stacking density within the cubicle is a lot greater.
Excellent. So do you have something new regarding the handling of the unit?
The operation, the handling is a lot smoother. It's a lot easier to handle the smaller units. The larger units above 200 millimeters high, the operation of the units, it's very similar to the other existing Plug and Power fully withdrawable units, but we've got the addition of the interlocking buttons as well, which I can explain when we actually go to the physical demonstration.
We look forward to see that.
Yeah.
So coming back to the previous version, okay, we still have the big dimensions, 600 by 600?
Yeah, so we've still got those dimensions, so we still go from smaller units around about 40 amps. The larger units go up to 630 amps.
Excellent, excellent. And we still have the removable units as we had before?
Yeah, so we've still got the plug-in stroke removable units. You know, Plug and Power is all about power supplies to critical supplies, wherever you need a quick change of a feeder unit. So if you've got something that needs a supply, you've got the option. You've got the option of the removable unit, where there is an element of downtime because you do have to disconnect outgoing cables. The fully withdrawable units, they are just quickly withdrawn and a new unit inserted. There's no need to disconnect any outgoing cables. The power plugs come directly off the dropper buzz bars, so it's a quick change. You're talking about minutes to change a unit.
Excellent. Now, regarding the outgoing cable boxes, we used to have the option to have them either on the left side or the right side of the unit. We still have this, or we have something that have been upgraded?
We still have that, so you can still have what we call front or side cable access, so you have a front access chamber. You can have the outgoing plugs on the right hand side or the left hand side of the unit, so you can share common cableways. That's very much the same as the existing Plug and Power system, so there's no real change there. The big change that we do have regarding the outgoing plugs, you can have rear cable access now, so that's a huge saving on length of switchboards. You don't need front cable access chamber. Your cable access chamber is actually on the rear of the panel, so you can have a really compact panel. You can have tiers of outgoing units all joined together.
Fantastic. We need to see that later.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I have one question that I'm sure that the people watching us now, they will ask. How how can they design that? Do we have the new features in the new design software?
Yeah, so the new design software, you know, we've got the TMD, Technomodule Designer, that has also been upgraded, so we can design the plug and power system reloaded in TMD. We can actually, we've improved the software where you can export via step files, DXF files. So if you want to design in TMD software, which is very quick and easy to design, you can then export that into other software packages like AutoCAD, SolidWorks, and so on. So you're not redesigning, you're designing once and then you're exporting into your software that you use for, say, your wiring diagrams and so on.
These are great news. Congratulations, Andres. This is for you because I know how hard work you gave for this thing to be done. Congratulations. Now, before we go to the panels, Dean, one last question. Did we change the terminals, the power terminals on the units? We have an upgrade over there?
We did, yeah. So the higher rated units, say the 400 amp and the 630 amp, we were quite limited with the old system as to how many cables you could connect. So the new outgoing plugs, you can connect up to 4 to 40 square millimeter cables per phase. So that's a huge upgrade. I mean, you should never need to go above that that amount of cables and that size of cables. So this is a great upgrade.
Okay. Two more questions, because now speaking about this, many things coming to my mind. So you spoke about the dropper, that we increased the rating to 2,750 amps.
That's right, yeah.
That means that we increased the option of bigger dimensions of the bus bars?
That's correct, yeah. Now we can go up to 120 square millimeter of copper bus bar. Yeah, it's a great upgrade.
Okay, excellent. And what about the control contacts?
Yeah, control contacts, we've gone away from what we had as our molded design plug. We've gone to a hearting type plug for the control circuits also. So we can have up to 84 control cable contacts. So here we are at the panel. This is our plug and power reloaded panel. As Constantino said, it's Technomodule plug and power. And the reason it is because we've got the fully withdrawable units, and behind these doors here we've got the removable units. So this is a typical arrangement for a panel where we have the main incoming circuit breaker here. this circuit breaker will feed up onto the top mounted bus bars, and then we've got dropper bus bars behind each of these columns. So the dropper bus bars come down into what we mentioned before, the motherboard.
Then can we open here and show a little bit?
Yeah, certainly, yeah. So as I mentioned, this is the main incoming unit. You've got your air circuit breaker there. This is typically your incoming compartment where you'd have your cables coming in through the bottom and connecting onto your main incoming bus bars there. Above here we have, it's just really, what we have here is just, this could be your metering compartment. If you need to put any controls in there, you've got your mounting plate also. Here we've also got the Form 4 separation plates. This is a Form 4 panel. As default, plug and power really defaults to Form 4B.
So let's go now to the units then.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to show the fully withdrawable units. These actually come in a couple of sizes. So we've got 600 wide and we can also do 400 wide. The smallest height unit being 100 millimeters high, and then we go to 150 millimeters high, and then 200. And as you can see here, we've got the smaller units as well. These units are the sizes that I mentioned earlier. These are actually 150 millimeters high, sorry, 150 millimeters wide by 150 millimeters high.
And this is something new, right?
These are the new size units. So this is where we were talking about how compact you can make your panel. You can have all of these units. Actually, the smallest size unit is 100 millimeters wide, and in that case you can have 4 units in one line.
Excellent.
It's
so,
very compact.
One question before we go to the handling of the unit, okay?
Yeah.
We still have the options for doors and feeders and motor starters as units?
Yeah. So you know these units can be used for power distribution or MCC, motor control centers. Yeah. So if you like, what I can do is I can show you the operation. I'll do this unit first because we've actually got a circuit breaker fitted here. The circuit breaker fits inside the compartment. It's normally mold case circuit breaker. Obviously you can put fuse switch in there as well if you like. Once you fit it inside, you put your external operating handle there. That's fitted onto the door. So when your circuit breaker is in the on position, we go to the operating mechanism, press the buttons in, it's locked in place. You just can't remove that. That is a strong mechanical interlock. So just do that. We've got it turned off. Now with the buttons pressed in, we can bring the unit out. It's as easy as that. To insert the unit, we've got the same procedure. You can see the buttons are popped out there. You're pushing it into that position. That's your test position.
That's excellent. So now, Dean, we still have 4 positions: connected, disconnected, test, and isolation position.
Yep.
Can you show us?
I'll show you all positions. This is the test position. You press the buttons in, press the unit in. That's your connected position. Again, we press the buttons in, we bring it out, back to test position. Press the buttons in again, bring it out, and then it comes out to the withdrawn position. But that's only so far. We've got a secondary interlock here on the side. If we press this secondary interlock in like that,
and this is new, eh?
That's still the same as what we had on the existing system. We still had this interlock in because you know you don't want to withdraw a unit, pull it straight out, and for it to fall, you've got to be in control of the unit.
But this one is something new, correct?
Yeah, I'll explain that in a little bit more detail. I'll just take this unit out first to show you the actual rear of the unit. So what you've got here is you've got the incoming plugs.
Okay. So here we said before that we have the option, the dropper bus bars can be up to 120 by 10.
120 by 10,
okay.
Yeah. 2,750 amps.
So either left or right, we can have the outgoing cable boxes and terminals and power contacts. and we can open that later and see what we have inside the drawer.
That's right, yeah.
Excellent.
So as you can see there on the incoming contacts, we've got a longer contact there.
This one?
That one there, yeah. What we've got there is the earth, the PE. So with it being the longest contact, it's the first to make when you insert the unit and the last to break.
For safety reasons.
For safety, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So if I just align this up, we'll push this into that position there. To insert, as we did before, you're pushing to test, push the buttons in, and then you're inserting. So if we remove it again, we're going to be taking this unit in and out many times.
Okay.
We'll bring it to that point there. I'll push the interlock. And then you can see on the side here we've got a couple of extras. These are new to the new plug and power reloaded system. We've got the coding system.
Okay.
This will stop you from inserting a unit in the incorrect position. So say you've got multiple units this size, this physical size. This coding system will stop you from inserting it into the wrong position.
So in case of maintenance, somebody is taking out, let's say, 4 drawers of the same size,
yeah.
exactly the same, let's say, layout.
Yeah.
So this coding system will help the user, the personnel, not to put in the wrong position the unit, correct?
Yeah, exactly. So if he tries to push that in the incorrect position, it will just come to a stop. You'll get nowhere further than that position there. That's where it will stop.
This is really good.
Yeah, yeah. So what we've got here as well, you can see on this new unit, we've got something else which is new. This is the lever to allow you to put it in the isolated position. So if we press that slider to the top position, and then we put the unit in, we go there, and then when we come there, that is the isolate position. So the isolate position means that your incoming power contacts are completely isolated and your outgoing power and control completely isolated. To lock it in position, we've got a lever there that automatically pops out. If you can show that, please. This lever here that pops out, you then can fit a padlock there. So you're physically padlocking the unit in the isolate position.
So in case that we have a failure and we don't have the parts to replace the failed, let's say, equipment,
yeah,
we do that so the panel is working without stopping the power.
Yeah.
And all the equipment of the industrial application, for example, will keep working.
Yeah. Or if you've got an operational unit and then you've got a field engineer needing to modify or upgrade or do some maintenance on whatever this unit is feeding on the site. I mean, this could be on the site anywhere, the actual unit that this is feeding. It could be, you know, a compressor, it could be a pump, maybe it needs to be changed. You can actually padlock that in the isolate position, and then he's safe in the knowledge that he can work on this piece of equipment without any risk to his safety.
Fantastic. Now, can we open the drawer and show inside what we have?
Yeah, exactly. So if we open the door here, you know, we've got our standard lock, so it's not like you're having to use any special tooling here. You've got our standard lock here. Once you get inside, you can see you've got the MCCB breaker mounted there. We've got this external operating handle which comes through our mechanical interlocking mechanism.
Yeah, here, this is the interlocking.
Yeah. So the rod here fits round the handle. It then fits into this tray here, and when you turn the breaker in the on position, the rod physically goes into the framework.
Based on the standard, they say that this drawer should have 300 usages.
Yeah, yeah.
The cycle of life of this unit.
Yeah.
In this one, we have 300 or more?
We've gone actually higher than that. I can't remember the exact
1,000,
figure.
if I'm not
I think
mistaken.
it's 1,000 maybe. Yeah, you could be right. But yeah, we've gone over and above the standard.
That's excellent.
Yeah. Okay, so if we want to put that door in the closed position again, what we need to do is we need to just bring the unit out. I need to deactivate the interlock again. We bring the slider back down, and then we can insert the unit again like that. and that's connected. It's the same operation on these smaller units.
And also in the big one, this one, for example, this is 600 mm.
Yeah, but you know, the bigger units are slightly different operating mechanism. The reason we've done that is because these are bigger units to physically move.
Oh, okay.
These smaller ones, you can see they operate in exactly the same way as these units here.
Fantastic.
You can take them out and they're exactly the same. You've got your incoming contacts there, that power and control, and you've got your outgoing also.
Dean, can you please show us, before you present us the handling of the other system, of the other unit, can you please show us the cable compartment and the outgoing cable boxes?
Of course, yeah. So this is what we call one of the front cable access chambers. So you can see here in the front cable access chamber, we've got the outgoing plugs coming from these units in here. As I mentioned before, you can actually have the outgoing plugs from these units coming into the same cableway. So we've got the molded plug here, and then these outgoing plugs here are where you can connect up to 4 240 square millimeter cables per phase.
Okay.
You can see they've got the shrouds on as well, so they're classified Form 4B. And you've got some if you want additional external terminals, we can do that via DIN rail mounted system there as well.
So the maximum form that we can achieve with this system is Form 4B Type 6, correct?
Yes, that's correct, yeah.
Excellent.
Yep. Another thing that I would like to show you is, as an option, on the motherboard, what we classify as the motherboard, maybe we'll remove a couple of these units just to show that. So if I take this unit out here, I'll just place it there on the floor. What we can show here is the motherboard. We referred to this earlier. So it is your bus bar holder and your separation plate. So as it's shown there, this is IP2X, so it's finger protected. You can't physically get in and touch the bus bars. But as an option, you can also have, I just place that unit there, you can have also a shutter system. The shutter system, you can see here, when you look in, you can't physically see any bus bars. It's completely isolated. It's an option. It's not every panel you need that on, but sometimes it's specified.
Okay, especially if something goes wrong also with a physical unit in the project and somebody wants to move it out and keep it like that, he can do that with safety.
Exactly, exactly.
Dean, shall we go? Sorry.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, so you can see some of the outgoing plugs there as well for the power and control.
And this is rear access?
This is rear access. So what we can do, you've seen the front access connection points. We can go around the panel and show you the rear access also.
Let's go and then we can come back again.
Okay. So now we're around the rear of the panel. You can physically see the bus bars in the back of the motherboard. We've got them shrouded here because it's rear cable access, so you don't want any accidental touching of the bus bars. You've got the outgoing plugs here. You've got the larger size unit and the smaller unit, and then you can see the smaller fully withdrawable unit. You've got the outgoing plugs at the bottom there as well.
That's excellent. So this is the new feature we have now.
This is brand new, yeah.
So we have the left and right option for the outgoing, and now we have the rear option. That makes the panel more compact.
Exactly. So you know where we've got the front cableway here at the front of the panel, you wouldn't need that. If you've got a rear access panel, everything is physically behind the operating units. So then you don't need to put any additional cable chambers
under
in place.
the condition that the personnel will have access from the rear side. No?
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Dean, can you please show us the function of the biggest unit?
Yep. So we're back at the front of the panel. And what we have here, we have the larger size units. They may not look larger, but when we say larger size, we mean higher current rating. Higher current rating units, this is a 630 amp unit, this is a 400 amp unit.
Let me make a comment here. This is the 400 millimeter width item product.
Yeah.
We have also the same one height, but 600 millimeter.
Exactly.
width.
To operate this is slightly different, where what you need to do is, first of all, you need to bring the interlock up and then bring the handles out. That actually brings you to your test position.
Can you please show us again the
Yeah, of
lifters?
course. I'll just put that unit back into place. So the levers are like that.
Excellent.
They're actually behind the handles, so you just do that, and that's your test position. Okay, to take the unit further out, you press the buttons in again, and you bring the handles out again. You just pull the handles towards you. You can see here, you've got the same secondary interlock to stop you from pulling it completely out, and then you can take the unit out again. And you can see here, you've got the same configuration.
Power contacts incoming. Here we have the power outgoing contacts.
Yeah.
And here we have the control contacts.
Exactly, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So to insert the unit, again, you just put it into position, you push it back from the front until you get to that test position, press the buttons in, and then push your handles in, and it's a good solid contact.
Connected.
Yeah, exactly. And again, if we want to go to isolate position, interlock up, handles back, buttons in, out to that position. You can see here we've got the isolate position as well. So to get to that position, you've got to align it. This mark aligned with the framework, you push the buttons in, and then the handles, you squeeze them together, and that is your isolate position. So that's a solid lock position. And again, you can fit your padlocks on the side here to padlock that into position.
Excellent.
So what we would like to do is also show you the removable units, also called plug-in. Plug-in, removable, very similar term for these units. What we've got here would appear to be normal compartment doors on the panel. If we go into one of these doors, you can see here it looks slightly different inside. These are our removable / plug-in units. So to remove a unit, you're simply getting hold of these handles here, pulling the unit out, and then it slides along the rails and comes out. This is where you would normally have your circuit breaker mounted.
This is a plastic for the to pass your cables inside?
Yeah, so you can take your cables from the unit through the plastic here and then mount onto the rear plugs. You can see the rear plugs are exactly the same as the fully withdrawable units.
So just to mention here that you can have this entry cable place either on the left or right side. That's why you have this pre-cut hole here.
That's right, yeah. It's easily modified. You can move your contacts along. So yeah, so with it being removable plug-in unit, you can actually, there is an element of downtime for this. So to remove this unit, you do have to disconnect any outgoing cables. And then to insert the unit, again, you're just doing very similar. It just pushes back into the compartment there and onto your bars. So that is connected onto the bars.
Compared to the previous system, I have to tell you, Dean, that this is more easy to move the unit.
It is.
You don't have to cross your hands in order to, let's say, to pull the handlers and take it out.
Yeah, it's a smoother operation, and you can see here we've got handles fitted onto the units. You don't have to have handles for every unit if you want. You can have the unit into position. There's actually some screws that hold the unit into position. So once you've got it in there, you can put the screws in and it'll lock it in. So you don't have to have the handles on every unit. You can have one set of handles for all units if you like.
Excellent.
Again, that reduces the cost.
That's excellent.
You can see in this compartment above, we've got a slightly higher unit there as well.
Okay, that's really good. So Dean, before we go, we want you to promise us that you will join us in the next webinar so we can speak about the more technical things of these units, so our partners, engineers, specifiers could be able to understand the system and prescribe that to their applications.
Exactly, we can do that. We can have a question and answer session. That's not a problem.
Excellent.